Hey all, today my subject is EQ and why EQ and where to be utilized. Me being a mother and a trainer have a lot of observations and strongly have a viewpoint that today's education industry is more focused on IQ. IQ is intelligent quotient and EQ is emotional quotient. Now, nothing wrong in focusing IQ, but I strongly feel that all the schools should adopt EQ, and I have my reasonings for the same why you should adopt it. Now, I'm not an educationist, but being a mother and a trainer, I feel that this can bring a lot of changes. We have been so much focused on IQ and technology. We are more getting dependent to the technology. Using new technology is a good thing, but getting addicted to the technology is something which is a focus point. And because of that, we all have started becoming more mechanical. And due to that, the emotional factor has started missing in humans. And I think if we get aware at this point of time and start focusing on our coming up generations, definitely we would be giving the world a new human who is not only, well with IQ, but emotionally also is very strong. And why all these things also I'll give the reasons. Now, why I recommend EQ to be implemented at the school level, and I strongly recommend this, has few reasons. Mainly because EQ works on certain factors, and I would be discussing certain factors, of course, not at a length, but at least you can understand and definitely feel or vote or say raise your voice to have this EQ in schooling system. It mainly starts with self-awareness. So if the EQ system, learning of EQ is implemented in school, it works on self-awareness. Now with the help of this self-awareness, what happens is, with this help of emotional self-awareness, you are able to help yourself in understanding your emotions as well as their impact on your work and your performance. So in result, you will know your strengths and limitations. So that is the reason, one first factor, self awareness, which is a factor on which EQ works. Now I'll talk about the second one. So second one is self management. I would be taking this on a little length, or I would be giving a little more information in this particular thing, because I feel it has a lot of points which we really should think on, and which is really going to impact not only the students but teachers and the management. So the self management comprises of 5 competencies. The first one is self control. Now, self control, imagine if this has been taught to the child, how many benefits it will have. You just think over it. I'm not going to go into detail of it, but which is keeping disruptive emotions and impulses under control. So, how strongly this is going to help your child? You need to make an analysis. Second is transparency. Now, because of transparency, which is maintaining standards of honesty and integrity. Now, from the childhood, if the child is taught to be transparent, we would have a world with honesty and integrity, which is, we say it, that it is a very expensive thing. And imagine if we could provide this to our children, what else we can do? I mean, think over it. It's a matter of thinking, and that is the reason this has motivated me to talk on this subject. A lot of people talk this about this subject, that it should be done, but I strongly recommend that it should be implemented in the school itself, from say the time they start understanding that educationists can decide which year to implement. The third factor is, like, okay, in transparency, it also helps managing yourself and responsibilities. So that is also one more additional benefit of it. Now the third factor is adapting. Adapting is, which is like they are easily able to adapt to the changes. Today, a child, it is very difficult if some situation changes, they start feeling depressed. Now today only you understand, we had sudden situation change because of corona, we are quarantined in the houses. It is getting so difficult for many people, and especially children, because we have not taught them to adapt things to change. I mean, whatever changes happen, we have not taught them to adapt. So this is one very important factor again. That is why I feel EQ is very important to be implemented in the school. So it is not only going to help you or your children to overcome obstacles, but how to manage with the change. The fourth factor is achievement orientation. Now, achievement orientation is the guiding drive to meet an internal standard of excellence. Now, imagine a child will start analyzing his or her own parameters. I mean, how he or she can excel. So, on his achievements, suppose he has achieved something, he starts analyzing how he can still achieve it better. And the fifth competency of self-management is initiative. The child or whosoever is undergoing this training learns to take the initiative regardless of self opportunities and act accordingly. So I mean, like, they are ready to take the initiative for any task. Today I have seen, when I give trainings, children fear. They fear for the failure. They have the biggest fear of being or to be failed. So I feel when they learn to take initiative, it is definitely going to help them learn a lot of new things. My reason for elaborating this self-management is I really love the points that are covered in it, and definitely it is helping our children, our future. It is equally important for us. I'm not saying that we should not do EQ. It is equally important for us, but my here point is it should be implemented in the school. And the third part is social awareness. Now, social awareness, this all factors are going to help the students, teachers, and even the management. So the social awareness has three competencies. One is empathy, organizational awareness, and service orientation. I will not be elaborating these three things because this is like something which we can understand by the word itself. Like, empathy is very important, organizational awareness is also important, and service orientation. These are all organizational skills which is very much required. So we are developing these things from our children from the childhood if we adopt EQ in schools. The fourth one is relationship management. Now, relationship management has four competencies. I will not be elaborating it. I would be giving you what are those. You also need to analyze how important it is. With this, you have visionary leadership. See, imagine all these things are so, today when we are into the market or like in a job or in a business, how all these things are so important. So apart from your say educational like math, science, physics, chemistry, all these things, I think this is the utmost importance what is required in our children to be successful in life. So first is visionary leadership. Second is developing others. We have become so self-focused that we don't think of others, and that is why when they take leadership they don't have this thought, and which indirectly impact their own growth, their performances. Third is influence, how you can influence others in a better way. So that is also again a very important factor. Change catalyst. Change catalyst, generally we fear a lot of things for a change, as we discuss certain things also. So it helps you to become change catalyst. It helps you to handle conflict management. Like conflict management is a lot of conflicts, how you can handle it. It is being taught in depth how it is how you are able to manage these things. Building bonds. In this technology world, we have forgotten to build the bonds with each other. It's only like it's a the benefits are also there, but we need to understand the drawbacks and work upon it. So it helps in building bonds with human to human. Teamwork and collaborates, very important factor. When I think earlier days the sports is something which is building teamwork capability in children. But today, because of restrictions in space like Mumbai cities and all those bigger cities where schools are not able to have those huge grounds and certain facilities, it has become very limited. Indoor activities have improved, and those times what we used to do in our schoolings, it really helped us to learn the skill of team building and collaborates. So I feel these are the 7 competences, again very important when you grow up and when you start your career. The whole funda today of education should not be making robots, should be like how we can prepare our children to handle all the situations. I think the all above factors which I discussed with you are very much important for students, teachers, and even the management. It will not only help them to become good humans. I think the schools would be bringing out a real good human, not the robots. And the world tomorrow would be a happier place, because we know, see, it doesn't mean that the problems are not going to come. It is our preparedness to handle the problems. So we are preparing our generation to handle any kind of situations. They would be strong enough. They won't be stressed. The generation coming up, today's generation is stressed, depressed. When I do counseling, I come under such cases, and I've seen small kids committing suicide. It's an alarming bell to all of us. We should understand this thing and work upon this. And I think the biggest solution which I feel, it's my purview, that we should focus in bringing up emotional quotient training into schools to help both students and teachers and even the management, so that they are not stressed, they are not depressed, and we will have real good human coming out of schools, children coming out of schools, and this world would again be a wonderful place to live. It's my humble request to all of you that if you agree with this point, please help reach this message to all the educationists who can think on this and who can work on this, and as soon as possible bring this trainings into schools. And if you all agree to this, and if you like this and it should happen, please like, share and subscribe this. Thank you. God bless you.